Hello everyone, this is Mariah Marish, part of Goodwin University's UDL Cohort. Today we're going to be focusing on representation in UDL by looking again at the so what of literary theory in English 102, composition and literature. So just like last time, we want to explore what's working well. I have some arrows on the parts that I think are particularly strong. One of these is 1.2, supporting multiple ways to perceive information. This does play along with 2.5, illustrate through multiple media. And I say this because I present different videos along with transcripts or closed captions. I include websites or different links that students can go to that also have the option to listen to them as long as I'm able to find that. I include a lot of visuals, so that way I'm giving students different ways to be receiving the information and exploring different parts of media. I also am doing 2.1, which is clarifying vocabulary, symbols, and language structures. There is a lot of vocabulary in English, like point of view. We have symbolism and theme, and while to some this sounds self-explanatory, that's not always the case. Some students really don't know what these terms mean, and we need to be sure that everyone's on the same page. So before we start getting into, for example, point of view in a story, I want to be sure students know what I mean when I say point of view, so we do spend time on that. Now you'll notice that I have an exclamation mark at the bottom for building knowledge. This is because I think this is an area where this class can really work, and we're going to be getting into that. So just as a reminder, the critical event surrounded a paper about literary theory. I saw that students were having a very difficult time choosing a theory. They couldn't really recognize the theory's relevance outside the text in everyday life. And when they did make these applications, they were not genuinely thoughtful or unique. They were a bit like Spark Notes, which is not what we are hoping for. So this was really showing me students were not understanding the essence and the true spirit of what this is supposed to be about. So I noticed that there were some learning barriers, one of which was a boring discussion board. While it did encourage and require peer interaction, it was not truly interactive. It was not that interesting. So it was a lonely experience, and learning should never be lonely. So the main UDL consideration I want to explore is 3.3, cultivating multiple ways of knowing and making meaning. I bolded some of the main ideas of it. So encouraging diverse cultural perspectives, having interpersonal experiences, and these are both things that we can get from peer review, from student interaction, where they are truly communicating with each other. Also, having explicit prompts, having a logical flow, and creating a structure of complex tasks. So this is what I'm also hoping to do in terms of redeveloping this process. And we can see that in the new idea I have for the discussion board, which is going to be a sort of peer review. So I want students to connect the theories to one shared text. While I like to give students choice in the text that they analyze, in this case, I do want to have everyone reading the same text so we are all on the same page. I then want students to analyze the text through their chosen theories. They do have their choice in theories. And then also consider the relevance of that theory off the page. So that's what they'll do in their initial discussion post. And then, in terms of the peer review, their peers will be focusing on the ideas, not their writing. So often in English, peer reviews have to do with essay format. How's APA? How's your thesis statement? How's the structure? That's not the point here. Instead, I want to focus on ideas and how is the process of applying a theory to a text and to the real world. So that's going to be the whole point of the peer review. Students will get this feedback about if their application to a text makes sense. Also, if there's maybe a reason they could have included another theory in their analysis. And they can consider all of this feedback and choose to use it or not to formulate the assignment for the submission that'll be due in about a week afterward. So in conclusion, I really want to formulate a more structured method to explore theory. Whereas before it was this boring discussion board and then an assignment, I want to tie the two together so it's really purposeful. I also want to promote student interaction so they're really getting something from speaking with each other and it's not just a requirement for their grade. And then also, along with that interaction, I want them to be questioning each other. This discussion board will come at a time where we have had several modules in the class, so hopefully people are being more comfortable with each other so they can be questioning each other in a respectful way and really encouraging different interpretations. Thank you for your time.